A former D.C. firefighter who has spent 20 months in a Virginia prison is expected to go free soon. The officer involved in Elon Wilson's arrest is accused of lying about why he pulled him over. Now the Fairfax Commonwealth's attorney is looking into throwing out more than 400 convictions that officer was involved with. 7 News reporter Tom Rousey live now to explain why. Tom.
And Carl, we also learned this afternoon that police officer who is no longer with Fairfax County Police is under criminal investigation. So today, what happened here could just be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cases he was involved in being thrown out.
Neither the prosecutor nor I were aware that there was a dash cam video.
Defense attorney Marvin Miller says when that video finally did come to light, it showed the reason why a Fairfax County police officer said he pulled over former D.C. firefighter Elon Wilson in 2018 was not true.
It shows that the car does not go over the solid yellow line. So he said it did, and it shows that it didn't.
After pulling Wilson over, now former Fairfax County police officer Jonathan Freitag found 2 guns and hundreds of oxycodone pills. But Fairfax County's top prosecutor, who pushed for Wilson to be released, says it's not clear any of it actually belonged to the former D.C. firefighter. He believes Wilson may have only made a plea and let a judge find him guilty because he has a young family and was being threatened with at least a 10-year sentence otherwise.
Because Elon Wilson was not the only individual in that car, there is real doubt as to whether he was guilty of anything at all.
In addition, Commonwealth's attorney Steve Descano says he wants to throw out convictions in 400 other Fairfax County cases where Freitag was the officer involved. He says not only in his opinion can the former Fairfax County police officer's word not be trusted, race played a role in who he pulled over.
There was evidence uncovered in the internal affairs investigation that he admitted having that bias when making stops.
Now, we obtained an email for that officer, Jonathan Freitag, and he emailed us back, or someone we presume was him emailed us back, saying he wanted to talk about, quote, false allegations against him. He said he would give us a call. That was a number of hours ago. We're still waiting for him to call.
Often when law enforcement respond to calls, they're met with someone who is in a mental health crisis. Tonight, one local sheriff says his deputies are ready to handle these situations after completing a crisis intervention training just today. Earlier, I spoke with Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman in a story that's all new at 5.
I understand this is a big day for your department. Tell me about this graduation.
This is the 50th graduation for our crisis intervention training program. We're excited about it. We have now trained over 700 people since 2012, and we now have 100% of our deputies, our dispatchers, and our folks that work at the jail and the courts trained.
I understand this was something when you were elected that was a priority for you. Tell me why that was. My wife was the caretaker for her sister. Her father had passed away, and her sister had been diagnosed with schizophrenia over 40 years ago. She had seen over the years how her sister had been treated, sometimes very, very well by police officers and sometimes not so well. Things that law enforcement officers really need to recognize more in the field so that they don't make the mistake of just thinking somebody's ignoring a command or being obstinate, that there may be a mental health issue that really sits behind that. What is it exactly that they're learning in this training?
The most important thing is to de-escalate situations that could become volatile. As we had more people were trained, what happened was our taser usage started coming down, and it went from 43 to 17 the following year. The year after that to 11 to 7, then to 4, and it's averaged about 3 or 4 a year since then. Why
do you feel like this training is going to help your officers at this point in time in our society?
We're very cognizant of what's going on in our communities, in our law enforcement community, and making sure that we're doing everything the best that we can to protect our citizens out there. I think it's been extremely well received, and I think this new generation of law enforcement personnel are very open to this, and they're very much community minded.
Sheriff Chapman says even though they are fully trained now, they will continue to do this crisis intervention training as new employees come in, and they will update it with the newest information and techniques.
Well, 7 News salutes veterans, and this morning is an important one in D.C. A powerful ceremony dedicating a brand new World War I memorial is happening just a few hours from now.
And you can find the memorial at Pershing Park, so that's just a couple of blocks away from the White House. 7 News' John Gonzalez is live there right now with a closer look for you. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning to you both, and this is going to be a very special ceremony, decades in the making, honoring the close to 5 million Americans who fought in the First World War and remembering the more than 116,000 who never made it home. You know, this spot here across from the Willard Hotel next to the White House has really been underserved for many, many years. It was an ice rink at one point most recently. Well, now it's going to be a place to remember these very special heroes. The World War I National Memorial will be unveiled this morning and will open to the public tomorrow. Dan Dayton, Executive Director of the World War I Centennial Commission, joins us live. What a beautiful place. And I was just telling you, Dan, I love how these memorials are being built in D.C. with this park feel to it, where people can really come and just observe and hang out.
Indeed they are, John, and as you mentioned, 4.7 million American families 102 years ago sent their sons and daughters off to fight this war that changed the world. That was the beginning of the American century. And today we honor them with this memorial. There are none of those veterans are still living. Yeah. The last one died in 2011. 2011. And a ceremony today that will include Gary Sinise. A military flyover. Tell me about it. And I'm very happy to report that the President of the United States has sent a video message to us as well. So we're pretty excited about that. This ceremony marks the first time that we've flown an American flag over this memorial. The flag was flown over the Capitol in 2017 on the same date when the United States went to war. Then it was flown, courtesy of the American Battle Monuments Commission, it was flown over cemeteries in Europe. Flown over the World War I Museum and Memorial in Kansas City, and today it'll be raised for the first time right here. Real quick, we're going to push in behind you. That's artwork, canvas art that's not going to be there forever. No, that's going to be replaced by one of the largest high-relief bronze sculptures in the Western Hemisphere. Wow. In 2024. Memorial Day 2024. Which tells the story of a soldier's journey from the time he leaves home until the time he returns. This beautiful memorial will open to the public tomorrow. And again, that statue, that massive bronze statue, will have to wait a couple years, but it's going to be special.